Colin Johnson, black male, 61, living with HIV. In 1984, I had gone to Vancouver, and I came back and I was having a fever. My lymph nodes on my arms were a bit enlarged. So I went to my family doctor, who was a good friend of my family, myself, and about 2 weeks after, he gave me a call and informed me that, asked me to come in. I went to his office, and he told me that I was HIV positive. He had actually done the test without actually asking me to. And at the same time, he told me he could no longer be my doctor. So things are changing. Things are changing. But Jamaica is still one of the more homophobic countries in the world. The laws are the British colonial laws, so sodomy is still illegal, and we actually call them the sodomy laws. But there's also a big religious issue, with most Jamaicans viewing themselves as Christian. And for them, that means that they go to the Bible and they pick and choose which biblical passages to use. So, of course, man shall not lie with man is a big thing for them. There's also a very toxic masculinity within the island. There is also the issues of unemployment. So a lot of men are not earning. I saw it decimating the black community. And I think this is something that I often speak to, that one of the things that when we speak about HIV and we go and look up HIV history, for the most part, it tends to be a very white dominated experience. I mean, so for example, a lot of people don't know that among the original group that was diagnosed in San Francisco, one of them was black, because that never comes up, okay? And the 25 people who were diagnosed in New York, again, one of them was black, but that never comes out in the figures. So HIV black people have sort of been removed in many ways from the discourse, which to me is just appalling, because there have been so many HIV pioneers who were black. But we don't discuss this, we don't discuss it. So my pride wasn't hurt. What happened to me was I saw the same need for HIV activism as I saw for gay activism. And since we were the group being most impacted, that for me was just a natural flow, you know? Guilt, that has passed. I no longer feel guilty in the sense that I made it, why did everybody else die? I have a sister who I love dearly, and she's literally my best friend. There is nothing, when I say nothing, we don't discuss. Trust me, you should hear some of the conversations we have, believe me. But I think that for me, I realized I couldn't leave my sister. I really couldn't. And I think that was one of those little switches, you know, that went off. And that's when I decided to live. It's not a death sentence. That is so crucial, okay? You can make it, all right? Go on with your life, all right? Getting diagnosed today is really, really not a big deal. In many ways, it's like having diabetes. It's not what we call an episodic disease, illness. Okay, so we're changing that whole mindset, that whole attitude about what it means to live with HIV. For many people living with HIV now, they take a pill in the morning and the story's over, okay? It's just like getting that damn insulin injection. It is not a big deal. You can have sex, and please have sex. Really have sex, okay? That's not gonna change. You know, a healthy sex life is damn good for you, you know? Yet chances are you're going to be rejected when you tell somebody and open up. It's going to happen, okay? I mean, it's not everybody out there who gets this, okay? But use it as a teaching moment, you know? And if the guy is gorgeous and sexy and says no, so be it. For a lot of the African, Caribbean, and Black communities, I think the message is getting out to them that HIV is there, okay? And the taboo is what is causing people not to get tested. We have to change that, okay? If you don't get tested, then you're passing the illness on, and it becomes that cyclical thing. That's what we want to stop, okay? Use a condom. Crucial, critical. It's as simple as that. Let's go old school, okay? Keep a condom in your back pocket the way I used to when I was young, okay? It looks good when it makes that hole in your wallet and everybody thinks you're really having a lot of sex. Trust me, you can boast it off to your friends. It's really cool. But get educated. Get educated. Have these conversations. We know that, and here's the thing, we know too that a lot of guys are having sex on the down low, okay? Seriously, and this is a fact. This is not something that I'm making up, and you know it in the African Caribbean community. Okay, fine, wonderful. I know you don't want your friends to know that you're gay. At the same time, please be careful. Be honest, you know? Talk to your friend about it, you know? Get bloody well tested. Because if you're tested, then you can get on medications. If you get on medications, you look like me at 61. Actually, it's great. I'm going back to school. I'm studying mental health and addictions because, again, that's a need that I see in the African Caribbean community. But, you know, I have great friends who I love, and yeah, you know, I pay them, but they love me too. But that's besides the point. You know, as I say, I have a great sister. So no, life is, you know, if 84, I would not have thought that I would still be here and still, you know, be able to walk around and move and visit and travel and stuff. So there is good, you know. It's not. There are times, yes. I do go through periods of depression. I'm not lying to you. I do hate going to the vampires every 3 months to have my blood work done, and I call them vampires. You know, it's an in-joke. But yeah, apart from that, and I have a great medical health team who have already told that I am going to be cloning, just to be on the safe side. But yeah, you know, there's so much still to do, you know, and you know, you should never give up. Life is really worth living, and life is even better worth living if you're living it with HIV, because you see through a whole different perspective, and it's just unimaginable.